Friday podcast. It's been a cool minute, too long. We got to get back into doing these each week.
I farted.
Dude. I've been so busy. I haven't even seen fucking Spider-Verse yet.
Loki? No, I haven't had a chance. I've been busy as fuck. I've had things to do.
And it was funny because we were like, you said, oh, I'm not gonna watch it till next Tuesday, and we
Yeah.
were like, what? And even I was like, what? But look at me now. Haven't seen it yet. No spoilers in the comments. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But
And it's big. It's big. It's everywhere.
I'll have seen it by tomorrow, hopefully. Today's Saturday, so tomorrow Sunday, hopefully we'll have seen it. This will release on Monday, so then I guess spoilers are okay.
Yeah, spoilers are okay. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna see it till Tuesday still, but yeah.
But everyone's saying it's really good. It's had really good box office so far. It beat Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in the opening theater weekend. So I mean, it's Spider-Man.
TBH.
It's Spider-Man.
It's Miles Morales Spider-Man.
But even then, it's Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man is the most popular
superhero
in the entire world.
Yep.
Like you cannot beat him. Like
Cannot beat him.
It's him.
He's one of the most recognizable superheroes.
Yep.
The-
You
like
go to a third world country, they'll know who he is.
you have to exit brand IP like comics to find another thing that is as big as Spider-Man.
He's probably bigger than Jesus.
Always.
And it's like him, Batman, and then Superman, and then I think now it's like Iron Man, Captain America, etc.
Yeah, it's the
Morrison
MCU.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, Spider-Man. He's the OG.
He's the OG. He was big before the movies, if you could imagine it. You could believe it. He was big before the movies.
He had his own fucking Japanese TV show where there was a Japanese guy in a suit fucking shooting with guns and stuff. That's where you get the classic clip of Spider-Man with guns. Let's watch that now, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's do it right now. Let's do it. Let's do
Let
it.
me see.
Kyle, put that up on the screen, please.
Spider-Man with
Jennifer, if you will.
guns.
Thank you very much.
Japan. Oh, unless I'm misremembering it.
What?
Oh, I'm not misremembering it. Okay. It's only 30 seconds, but
The Japanese Spider-Man. So good.
the guy's not even trying to fucking fight him.
No, he's just there like
I could see the wire. The way they're all dancing around.
You know what this reminds me of? In like Pokemon, like a random episode, like Jesse will just bring out like a fucking AK just pointed at people like,
What?
and then shoot at them, and then like once they leave, like once they turn their backs, all the townsfolk just bring out their shotguns and like point it back at them. Like,
Oh, look at that. This is a real Pokemon episode. Yeah. Holy
it
shit.
happens a few times actually. Team Rocket always has guns and bombs and shit, and sometimes the townsfolk, like the second they catch Team Rocket slipping, they just start like fucking start blasting at him.
Well, that's how it is.
And it's not lasers either. They're like gunshots. Like they don't
Actual
take the coward's
guns.
way out. Yeah, it's guns.
It's not censored.
No.
But I was going to say, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's fucking aliens again in 2023.
Again, more
Again.
aliens.
So
More
apparently-
aliens.
This is on the news, right? UFO mystery in Las Vegas. They called 911.
It's a scene straight out of the X-Files.
That's unreal. I've never seen anything like it. What are they?
Oh shit!
Family
I thought that was
Las
legit
Vegas
the video footage. I was like, oh
insisting
fuck.
something is out there after allegedly having a close encounter of the third kind.
I swear to God, this is not a joke.
One witness calling 911 after they say an object fell out of the sky and landed in their backyard.
They're like 9 foot, 10 foot tall. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes.
The mysterious object that fell from the sky, even the officers apparently saw that. The green
Why
glow
is
of
it
the
grainy?
alleged UFO is seen on this
It's
newly
just a
released
little body
body
cam. It's
camera
nighttime.
footage.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
So when that 911 call came in, less than an hour later, police were ready to believe it.
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
Because I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or?
But after a brief investigation of the yard, officers closed the case as unfounded.
If those 9 foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
According to former intelligence officer David Grush, an alien crash landing isn't too far-fetched. Grush recently turned over documents to Congress claiming the U.S. government has a vast collection of vehicles that have non-human origin. An oversight committee in Congress is in the process of scheduling a hearing on those claims.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos.
Wow.
Thanks for checking out.
So, one of the things to note is that It's grainy because it's just body cam footage. It's nighttime. Your eyes are going to be able to perceive stuff at night much better than any camera can, unless that camera's like, super expensive, optimized for nighttime, all this stuff, right? It's that's why it's just a little body cam. But the fact that there's like that little thing and they're like, we call 911 because we're so fucking freaked out. Like that's low key. That's fucking scary, dude. I'm like, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah, that's a little creepy, to be honest.
So let's see the eyewitness details. Oops, wait, it's fucking muted.
Southern Nevada is abuzz tonight with stories about the crash of an unknown object and the alleged sighting of strange creatures in the backyard of a Northwest Valley home.
So it was last night that 8 News Now investigator David Charnes reported about how Metro Police responded back on May 1st after receiving a strange call from a very frightened family. Well, our report generated a global response, and now piecing together the sequence of events has been kind of tricky, in part because the primary witnesses have been almost as elusive as the beings they say they encountered. Chief Investigator George Knapp is as perplexed as the rest of us. George.
As you know, this is not our first UFO rodeo. We first heard about the incident in early May via the Metro Police grapevine. The incident has a lot in common with other bizarre cases from around the world: an alleged crash, strange beings, and bits and pieces that don't make sense. But the police took this seriously, and so do we. Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums. Multiple family members backed up the story in an initial police report we obtained. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard as if trying to engage it. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Metro sources say the police dispatcher initially wondered whether to send a crisis intervention team to help the troubled witness, but then took the incident seriously. 2 officers arrived 38 minutes after the call, and by then had heard from other officers. They proceeded cautiously and managed some nervous laughs.
I ain't dealing with that.
A few days later, the family says 2 Metro sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days. Nellis and Creech have denied any interest or involvement with the incident. Metro has indicated they believe the family that something crashed in their yard. But what?
Someone else has access to it.
You mentioned, George, in that piece that they were frozen because so many people have been critical of, like, why didn't they get their phone out? Why didn't they shoot the video? Do we know if there's even any video of this incident?
Yes and no. So there's a surveillance camera in the backyard. The property owner keeps that because he's got a lot of expensive equipment there. What we were told is that at the moment this thing comes down and crash, this camera went out, and it was out for a couple of minutes. When it came back on, the object was gone, but the circle was there. We've been told by Angel in multiple phone conversations that he shot video video of the creatures. We haven't seen it, and we don't know anybody else who's seen it yet, so maybe he'll release it at some point.
It's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, all over.
All right, George, thanks for that.
I don't know. That last part makes me a bit sus. Not gonna lie.
I was gonna
I
say,
was like,
it definitely seems a bit sus. Although she did say something I kind of agree with, where it's like, well, you know, when you're frozen, everyone thinks, oh, take a video of it. It's so scary, but it's like in that moment you're kind of panicking, right? So you don't immediately think, oh shit, you know. But the fact that he's like, I got video of it, but it's like, well, then show it, fool. You'd be like the most famous person ever.
Yeah.
You know,
like if you have like convincing videographic evidence of aliens, like. Okay, yeah, sure. If you're paralyzed with fear, but like, I don't.
But apparently he wasn't. So
Yeah. Like he had time to like you know make the
Shoot
phone call and
something.
do all of that, and he was still like in the vicinity of the alien when he made the phone call. So he clearly wasn't that paralyzed. I don't know, because like every time I think this, I'm like, okay, let's say I'm paralyzed with fear at the alien, right? I've had a flaming car get like chucked, not chucked like someone chucking it, but like it tipped over and it was like a full car crash right in front of me. And that shit was flaming halfway up. I still took a video of that. Like I took a video of that and I sent it to everyone right when it happened.
People are different.
I'm like,
you know, I get that.
Yeah.
There's some people who it's fight, flight, or
and
freeze.
Yeah. There's like a few more actually, but
and shit yourself.
And shit yourself. Yeah. There's release your bowels. Yeah,
fight,
that's
flight, freeze, firea. Fiery diarrhea.
Just
yeah. No, but I know everyone's like, oh, fight.
Everyone's a little bit different,
fight
but
or
I mean,
flight.
I don't know. There's 4 people. There was like 5 people there in that saw it, right? 2 of them were old, so let's say, you know,
They
older
don't have their
people,
phone
They
on
don't have their
them.
phone. They're less. There's 3 young people who probably would have, you know, taken out. All 3 of them froze.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
It just happens that all 3 of them
froze, and the third guy did get some footage, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. And he's not willing to
big
show
allegedly.
it. That's suspicious. I don't know. I used to I used to love like alien conspiracy theories, like even the ones with like even weaker evidence to them, like the ones that are like you can just look at them and be like, okay, yeah.
She's like, I dreamed that I went up with the Greys, and I know it was them because when I woke up, my butthole was wet, and they're like, I think that your husband just wanted to have some fun when you were asleep. Honestly,
Yeah,
like,
honestly, you might want to check into rape. How do you call it? No, yeah, I used to love all those, but then like in the last like 2 years, I've noticed like it's like that community, like the alien conspiracy theory community, has been like infiltrated
by right-wing people.
Yeah, and like that sucks the fun out of everything. Like every time I'm like looking at it at like an alien conspiracy theory, like, oh yeah, you know, the Pentagon released these documents, blah 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 blah, and then it's like, yeah, and that's how we know that the aliens were brought here by the Jews, and I'm like, wait, hold on. What?
Or they're like, Fauci is actually an alien, and that's why he wants us to be vaccinated. So for our alien overlords, you know, like that side, I'm kind of like, okay, that's fucking nuts.
It's like, wait,
but like,
hold on.
I've been on Reddit since 2011, right?
Yeah,
it's been 12 years.
Yeah.
They're about to destroy all the third-party apps. I don't know if you heard about that, right?
Yeah,
unfortunately,
fuck, dude.
But I remember the early days of r/conspiracy. It was crazy saying like, oh, the JFK video, you can actually see he gets hit by something first, and then there's a second shot, and all this stuff, and people were like actually discussing it, and like you see the same thing, like aliens, like, oh, there's a possibility that this thing fell down from the sky and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then ever since 2014, 2015, when like
Trump became big.
Trump became big, then they started going like, oh, the deep state doesn't want Trump to win and all this shit. And like, watch, I'm gonna go to r/conspiracy right now and just look at the top.
And you know what sucks? Like, aside from like maybe 2 conspiracy theories, like I don't know, fucking take your pick, like JFK and Martin Luther King.
Wait,
Like,
wait. Okay, this is too funny to pass up right now. r/conspiracy, right?
Yeah.
Zuckerberg says establishment ask Facebook to censor COVID misinformation that ended up true, undermines trust, from Fox News. There's only one operation fighting child trafficking on the ground with paramilitary and saving our kids. Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, 81, found dead in prison. Rest in peace to a real one. The powerful death cult ruling Earth for all recorded human history. And I'll bet you it's the Rothschilds at the top. Let's see.
yeah,
Let's see.
it's gonna be the Rothschilds, or it's gonna be
Illuminati's Active 1871. I don't even know what the fuck this means. This literally looks like, what?
I've seen that symbol before. I've seen that diagram before. I can't remember well. It was either like some alchemic thing that like proves that like mainstream whatever, like, you know, the inception to the right-wing pipeline, basically.
Hillary Clinton tweets out, but her emails merch in reaction to Trump indictment. That's pretty funny, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But why, that's not a conspiracy. What does this have to do with a conspiracy?
Like, that's what I was gonna say. Like, the issue is that like what makes a conspiracy theory interesting to people, most of the real conspiracy theories don't have that interesting aspect. Like, you can see like what like sounds like conspiracy theory, like fucking what's that one president's name? The one that most people kind of like, Ted. I was gonna say Ted Bundy. Teddy Roosevelt. And about what he did in like Latin America, especially with the Panama Canal, and how he essentially overthrew like a democratically elected government.
Good times.
You know, the U.S. is very that, and then the also the Panama Papers that got released that showed essentially how all the rich people from like Jackie Chan to
like everyone, all the A-listers are hiding money overseas and cheating the tax code, and it's just like, oh well.
And not just that, but there's like millions that even as a part of that system are essentially unaccounted for, that we don't know exactly where they're going to. Like, they're going to
it's fucking dark money that's going into who knows what.
And you see like similar
paramilitary death squads or something.
Yeah, legit. Because you see like some financial statements. Because like BlackRock's a publicly owned company. You can see a lot of their financial statements, and you see similar transactions on their thing, like showing like recipient money. Like, it's just it gets wild. It gets really wild, but it doesn't have the hallmarks that makes it like an interesting conspiracy theory. Besides that, because there's no intrigue, there's no like, oh, who do we blame? Oh, who do we do that? No, the end result is just basically
what do we do?
There's a systemic issue, and that issue is the current way we run capitalism. There's nothing there's nothing an individual can do about that.
Can an individual really dismantle all of capitalism just because we found out that rich people store their money? Which, again, we already knew. But we already assumed if rich people aren't storing their money offshore so the taxman doesn't get them, then they're fucking stupid.
And like, we already knew that America was a colonial power. Like, we didn't need, you know, what Teddy did in like the Panama Canal to know that. But like, having evidence and proof that the U.S. does all this like shit through like the CIA and stuff, you know, kind of changes things. But it feels disempowering. Basically, it doesn't appeal to like, you know, that sense of like conspiracy, like, oh yeah, once we know, we can just change everything. Like, once we know, we can, you know, do these things, we can you know, fight against
this
them.
Has really opened up the zeitgeist, and it's like, no, this is just kind of confirmed what we already knew.
Yeah. And so like that's the thing. Like, that's why I feel like the conspiracy theories are very easily co-opted or infiltrated by right-wing people, because the conspiracy theories have all the things that essentially they believe
of the government.
Without any of like the actual, like, while letting you feel like you can do something about these conspiracy theories, despite the fact that 9 times out of 10 they're kind of not real.
Speaking about right-wing people, so Trump, how many crimes is he convicted of right now?
Woo! I think I got longer toenails than he.
I'm trying to see.
Let me see. Trump indictments.
Because basically, he stole U.S. secrets. He was no longer president.
Military secrets.
U.S. military secrets, confidential information. He had boxes in Mar-a-Lago in a fucking bathroom, which anyone could have hypothetically walked into in his office and in his bedroom. Like, and his aide is also being indicted because of that, because his aide was
his lawyer.
Conspiracy, and his lawyers quit as well.
No, his lawyer's indicted too.
The one he was using before, right?
Yeah. From the government and his own attorneys, a total of 37 counts.
Yep.
So he's going to, and they have recorded evidence of him essentially. Okay, so not to bring it back to Vosh for a second, but when we started learning that Donald Trump essentially took all of, like, you know, he was taking documents out of the White House, Vosh was like, I don't think this dude got paid. I don't think he got like bought out to like give these secrets away, basically. I think he's just a dumbass that wants to show off to like people so that people can praise him and be like, oh, cool, how cool he is.
Yeah.
And guess what ended up happening? We have recorded evidence of Trump basically being like, hey, you want to see these?
Everyone's
Isn't this cool?
Everyone's like, oh my God, he's going to be throwing over, he's going to be selling state secrets. He's going to be making all this money. He's a mastermind. He used as much as he could. In reality, he's just like, look.
Hey, you want to see my new secret confidential documents?
Look how cool these are. I had these when I was president.
I can't unclassify them anymore, but you know, he literally said, I can't unclassify classify them anymore.
He was laughing with the
But look
aide.
at them, so you shouldn't get too close. As if like the person getting too close would be a worse crime. Oh God.
It's like, I don't want to. I don't want to indict all these people on conspiracy to commit conspiracy to commit treason as well, but it's a little treasonous.
Just a little treason.
To look at that and go, all right, I'm not reporting it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Nuts.
Have all of our nuclear codes, all of our secrets. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Absolutely. This man is going to fucking jail. He's going to jail for a while, and hopefully, and it's so fucking funny because like they were saying, Hillary Clinton, right, tweeting out but her emails, right, which again, it was a completely different set of situations, and she went and testified.
Yeah,
because he was subpoenaed like 4 times. He ignored
chose
all
not
of them.
to. Yeah,
dumbass. And she went, testified for like 12 hours straight. She was perfectly cool, calm, and collected because she knew that, in the end, she didn't do anything wrong.
Obscenely wrong. Well, she did do something wrong, but it wasn't like... She
wasn't selling state secrets or showing them around to every fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Yeah. Like it's like the difference between I accidentally hit someone with my car because I wasn't paying attention, and I ran over my ex-boyfriend because he cheated on me.
Protesters. No, not even because he cheated on me. I'm just running over protesters.
Oh yeah. That's better.
Just for no reason. For no fucking
reason. Yeah, literally no reason. Just like because I'm trying to basically establish malice or intent.
Yes.
Like I want to.
Yes.
I want to commit this crime versus I accidentally committed this crime. Like
and he's bragging about committing the crime.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No
wonder his fucking lawyers quit.
Yeah, fuck, I would too. Shit.
He's like, Your Honor, my client is retarded. I would like to point that out first.
No, can you like put it in this perspective for a second? Can you imagine being a lawyer for a former president and he's so fucked that if you were to take it to a trial, there's no way you could win.
Yeah.
And having that on your record, because like lawyers are kind of like actors in the sense that like their past successes and failures,
of course,
and depending on the case and their clientele,
they got IMDb.
Yeah, IMDb. It's their own personal IMDb, and that essentially dictates how well the next person is going to hire them, how big the next case they get is going to be, right? In this sort of situation, like the lawyers he'd be looking for.
Yeah.
And having a failure of a case with the ex-president as your client is not a good look for any lawyer. Any lawyer. That is not a good look. Like,
no, of course not. Like,
it doesn't matter how fucked the situation is. Having like, oh yeah, I failed an ex-president. Like, that's not a good look on any lawyer.
Yeah, I mean, it's really
like I can't imagine that being a good look.
He's such an idiot.
Yeah, he's a fucking dumbass.
It's like it's unimaginable.
He's going to prison. He's got it. I don't think. Okay. And he can still get out of it. Let's be fair. He can still get out of it.
That's true.
Because he could always, he could always if Ron DeSantis wins or if a Republican wins, he can always get a pardon. So even if he's indicted, he might not necessarily go to prison. Not indicted. Even if he's arrested and jailed, he might not go to prison. 2, he's an ex-president, so they're never gonna put him in they're not even gonna put him in the maximum security Ted Kaczynski prison.
No,
they're gonna give him house arrest. Like, let's be fair here. He's essentially gonna be stuck at Mar-a-Lago until he dies.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most likely outcome if he does get guilty. Or how do you call it? Or he could just weasel his way out. I mean, he's weaseled his way out of stuff before. Like, basically his entire career in presidency and the political arena has been weaseling out of shit that he says and somehow still coming out on top. So, there's still a chance. I mean, the courts right now are heavily in favor of Republicans. Let's not forget that. Just because it's going to court, just because it's indicted, doesn't really mean a whole lot.
Dude, and it's a Trump-appointed judge who's going to be overseeing this.
Yeah. If I mean, a lot of Trump-appointed judges, how do you call it? Because he did appoint a lot of neocons who essentially still kind of try to stick to the rule of law to do stuff. And that's why a lot of his appeals when he was trying to overturn the presidential whatever didn't go through because a lot of them were neocons. But you never know. You never fucking know. You never fucking know.
Florida District Judge Eileen Cannon is scheduled to oversee former President Trump's first court appearance next week, adding an unexpected twist to the historic case involving classified documents. Cannon was nominated to serve on the federal bench by Trump in 2020 and was criticized for ruling in his favor last year, allowing a special master to review evidence seized from Mar-a-Lago in the classified records probe.
Luckily, didn't that special master basically still say that like Donald Trump was
he's a
like
fucking idiot?
fucking
Yeah.
idiot? Yeah.
And she herself is a longtime member of the Federalist Society.
Of course.
The Federalist Society, the actual deep state
I
that
was
has
gonna
been
say-
grooming Republicans. Fucking the 4 of the 9 Supreme Court justices were in there.
I was gonna say
Fucking
the real
Kavanaugh-
Illuminati.
Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, and the other
Like a
fucking
quarter of all federal judges have been a part of the Federal Society, no, or more.
I don't know, but
'Cause
it's a lot of conservatives. That's all it
Most
is.
of the Republicans have been a part of the
conservatives.
Federalist Society, and there's a lot of Republican judges on the bench, across the United States. So a good chunk of them were a part of the Federalist Society. It's basically the real, actual Illuminati, but just
conservative Illuminati.
Conservative, yeah. It's just the conservatives.
That's all it
It's
is.
because they can't get here's the thing. It's because their ideas aren't good. They can't get them across like just by essentially saying like you always
have to
say.
get like-minded people.
I'm sorry. Reality leans left. You fucking retard.
Unfortunately, reality has a left-leaning bias.
Yeah. Apologies that facts and logic lean leftwards.
Facts and logic don't care about your feelings, conservative snowflakes.
Yeah.
It's like, God, I mean, that kind of back to the conspiracy thing. It's like,
Mhm.
they're like, oh, don't you see all these people are dying from heart attacks and it's the COVID stuff? And it's like, that's less than 0.0001 of the population, which is like, let's say 100 people for every 100 million that are being vaccinated. Like,
Mhm.
do you realize how small of a risk and how specific of a genetic trait you have to be even affected by it, even if it did actually cause it? Because again, we don't know.
Oh, you're talking about the blood clots? Weren't there only like 4 people that actually
Straight
got
up.
that actually got hit by that?
Straight up.
4 people, like.
But some people have been having heart attacks, and like the comments are a cesspool on some of those New York Post ones, because New York Post is a conservative one, right?
Mhm.
And they were just announcing like, like when Lance Reddick died, right? Lance Reddick died, and everyone's like, oh, it was the clot shot that got him, and they're like, oh, thank God. See, this is why I'm not getting vaccinated. I've had COVID 3 times. I'm perfectly fine. It's like, you've had it 3 times.
You had it 3
fucking
times,
idiot.
fucking dumbass.
Do you know how
Dude.
hard and how much damage that was to your lungs?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude. Okay, so my dad doesn't like to talk about this, but he essentially can't really stay up all day anymore. He falls asleep midday. And before, he didn't used to do that. Before he got COVID. He got COVID like once or twice, I think, and that fucked him, dude. He gets tired so quickly now.
Yeah.
He struggles to get up. He's like all over the place. He takes like 1, sometimes 2 naps a day before like, the end of the day. and,
We
like,
we
go to
don't
sleep.
even know the actual long-term effects
Yeah.
because it's still relatively new. But we know the short-term stuff that's been popping up has been horrible.
Horrible. And he got out of it lucky. Like, imagine like you get COVID and like a lot of people fucking just
I was
died.
gonna say, do you realize he got lucky? Do you realize how many fucking people died? Like, this was like 30 million people. Like, that's nuts. Like, everyone goes, oh yeah, but so many people die about heart disease and stuff like that. It's like, no, you fucking moron. This is not no one is going, oh, don't give a shit about heart disease. No, it's the same argument for Black Lives Matter, where it's like, we're not saying no one else's lives matter. We're focusing on these because these are the ones that are disproportionately being affected by systematic injustice.
Yeah.
The same way with COVID, we're focusing on it because it spread so fast. It had so many variants. So many people have died from it. Like, it was a humongous thing. And yet people are still nowadays going, don't get the Fauci ouchie. Oh, I don't need my clot shot. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Dude, my dad is still like that. He doesn't use those he doesn't use a lot of those terms, but he's basically like anti-vax still. He like doesn't want to admit that all of the issues that have just suddenly appeared are because are because of the fact he got COVID. He's like, no, I just got sick. No, I just slept without the curtain. I don't regret not getting the COVID vaccine. It doesn't matter. Like none of it matters. It's like,
yeah. Now that I think about it, I don't think I ever got the 4th follow-up or the 5th.
I didn't get the 4th follow-up either. I forgot.
Well, you had the J&J, right?
Yeah, I got the J&J.
Did they have the second follow-up? 'Cause I thought there was
They
just
had a
one.
booster. I have the. Oh no, I don't.
You've got your papers.
Yeah, I got
You're
my
being
papers.
tracked by the deep state.
I am the deep state. Listen to me, child.
Quick note to all the conservative idiots who say about that they're tracking you. They have this thing called Social Security number if you were born in the U.S. and that
And
tracks
cell
you.
phones.
And cell phones and credit card transactions and bank accounts. But mostly, I mean, your Social Security number is tied to all that stuff. You fucking morons.
Dude, you know what's? I hate the Social Security number.
Why?
Because it's it's actually like unsecured. Like your library card, especially if you were born before like 1950. 1955 or 1965, something like that, is more secure than your social security number.
It's hilarious.
Because like one thing, like this is an old CGP Grey video, I think, but basically what a lot of like the basic security features of like a serialized number, like your social security number have, or like your library card, is sometimes the last couple of digits should be equal to the rest of the numbers added up. That's one of like the basic classic security features. A lot of them use different ones, but that's one of the basic ones. Your social security number doesn't do this. If you don't know, your social security number, the last four digits, you essentially give it out everywhere. So that's not secure. For sure, the last four are out there. Yeah. Like if anyone's looking you up, they can find your 4 digits. Yeah. The second two are essentially the state where you were born in, to an extent, and then or the region. I think I forgot if it was the state or the city you were born in, and then the first couple of digits are essentially a numerical order for the day of the hospital that you were born in. So if you were born 89th in that hospital, it's going to be like 0089 or whatever, however the numbers work out. Yeah, and that's,
I don't think social security numbers start with 0 though.
No, not a lot of them, because you're usually not.
No, because I don't think they're supposed to. I think, like,
or is it the second number? I might be getting it backwards, because I watched that video like forever ago,
maybe
years
the second
ago.
one.
But anyone can just look up the CGP Grey video.
Well, I was gonna say, let me see what does the social security number mean?
Yeah, if you were born before a certain year, it was essentially that. Now it's a bit more randomized, because back then they used to print not to be used as identification on the card, but so many institutions essentially were like,
yeah. The first set of 3 digits is called the area number. The second of 2 is called the group number, and the last 4 is the serial number. Area number assigned by the geographical region. Prior to 1972, cards were issued in local Social Security offices around the country, and the area number represented the state in which the card was issued. So the area number does not represent the state of residence of the applicant, generally speaking, since 1972.
Since 1972, so, that's where it was. Not 1960s, 1970s.
The group number, middle 2 digits, range from 01 to 99, but are not assigned in consecutive order. They are issued first odd numbers from 01 to 09, even numbers from 10 to 98, within each area number allocated to a state and
to the state, not the city.
And after all the it's just a fucking rule. And then the last 4 run consecutively.
Yeah. So then it's So the city row, your social security number is so insecure. It is so fucking like shit. And you want to know why? The funny part? It's because of the dumbasses that didn't want to be tracked, that now they have an easily like able to be stolen secured, like that we all have like a easily able to be stolen identification number anyways. Because they didn't want to be tracked. They're like, no national number for us. No, none of that. No identification number, like Europe has. And as a result, they got one anyways, because people need to keep track of like money and like info and where you've been and stuff like that.
How are you going to keep track of who you are without some sort of form of identification? Yeah. That's like the whole sovereign citizen bullshit where they're like, oh, actually, I don't need a license to identify myself with because I myself am representing a corporation of myself, and therefore I am just traveling in this. I am not actually... I do not need a license for a private vehicle. This is a private vehicle. It's not for enterprise use. It is just for private travel. And it's like, okay, so do transportation rules not apply to you? No, because it's not transporting anything. I am just traveling in it. And it's like,
that's
okay,
the
then
same shit.
Go ahead and travel on your private roads. You can't use public roads.
Yeah.
No, but the taxes and stuff that I pay. Okay, so you admit that you are a
citizen.
Yeah, you are a citizen.
Yeah.
Like, dumbest shit ever.
It's literally the dumbest shit, dude.
It's
absolutely
like
it's like conservatives.
No, it's them going, I found a loophole. Aha, I know the court's better than you, to like a fucking judge, and the judge is like, you're an idiot. Contempt of court.
Bye, bitch.
And they're like, oh, I do not recognize because the flag has a gold fringe on it, which is a maritime flag. So therefore, am I being court-martialed by a maritime? I am not. Therefore, it is invalid. I do not recognize it. And they're like, irrelevant that you don't recognize it because this is a court of law. A fucking contempt of court. You're going to jail. You can't do this to me. And then it's like, it's
like there's like what these idiots don't understand, like. And they really are idiots, because like, why do you think like trans people are so terrified of the courts, like essentially like eliminating them from existence, from like legal existence. Well, because there's just not much like trans people could do at that point. Once you're up against like a government, like a societal structure, there's not much you can do except like escape or hide. Like there's a reason why we know the story of Anne Frank. It's because when the government turns against its citizens, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
If the government wants something, it basically happens. That's kind of how it is.
And yeah, you're powerless to stop it.
Yeah, like one person being like, no, I don't need it, and like of course there's like it's like differences of weight, right? Like one of them is like actively evil, like, you know, hunting down people, and the other one is like some dumbass not wanting to show a driver's license. But I mean, they are still like rules essentially that a state creates, and it's just about whether those rules are ethical or not. You know, it's ethical to like have a license to show that you're capable of knowing how to drive a vehicle that can murder, you know, like hundreds of people if you fucking
if you so wished.
Yeah, if you so wished. It is not for like other stuff.
I'm trying to find this there's a good Bob and David sketch called Know Your Rights, but it's not
it's not on
YouTube because it's censored because it has
trash.
blackface on it.
Oh.
But I mean, again, it's not the point of like, oh, he's being racist on purpose. You know, it's like the character itself is just being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fuck, where is it? Yeah, I guess we just don't get it.
Yeah, it's probably not going to be on YouTube because that's against YouTube terms of service, I think.
Is
so
it?
it'd be taken down. Yeah. I mean, this is a bit of more example, but why do you think Steven Crowder's not on the platform?
True.
Because that's basically like 90% of his jokes, and they're not even funny. That's the worst. Oh, that's not the worst part, but like,
fuck, I can't
they're
find
actively
it.
horrendous.
Yeah. I found it on Daily Motion, but I can't cast it to the TV. And on top of that, I'm not gonna be able to download it later to put it on.
Also, if you just put that on the background, it will get dinged in terms of service.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Yeah. So it wouldn't matter either way.
With Bob and David, the sketch is called Know Your Rights. That's basically it.
Know your rights.
It's one of those guys that's like, you know, like, you got to know your rights. And they're like, I only have to crack down my window by this much. And there you go. And if I want to request a lawyer present, and they're like, and the cop is just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, you're free to go. And he's like, okay, well, that usually doesn't happen. And then he like keeps trying over and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And the cop keeps going like, dude, just mind your business.
Yeah. One thing that I do like agree with one of those people is you shouldn't really talk to the officers, like just, you know, basic pleasantries, and then just shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
and then like like cooperate.
Anything you say can and will be used against you. Like they're literally that's part of your Miranda rights, right?
Yeah.
Which again they don't really technically have to even read
anymore.
But yeah, like you can literally get yourself in trouble by going, oh, and don't worry, there's no cocaine in the car, haha. And then they're like, get out of the car, sir.
Yeah,
you just gave me
step out
fucking
of the
probable
vehicle.
cause.
Yeah.
Like he can just phrase that as, well, they mentioned that there may or may not be cocaine in the car, and then it's your word against the cop. Who are they gonna believe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so like as soon as you get pulled over, just say, hi, hello, do you know why we're pulling over? No. Blah blah blah. Let them speak. Let them say whatever. And then just shut the fuck up. Just stay completely silent. Don't even say anything. And then just hand over your shit. Like, and then that's it. That's it.
And
that's it.
Especially when they ask, like, do you know how fast you were going? If you go, I don't know, then that gives them a free pass to go, well, I saw you going 60. And then you go, wait, no, it looked like I was going this much. But then they'll be like, oh, but you said you didn't know, right?
Yeah.
But if they ask you, oh, do you know how fast you were going? And then you can kind of like ballpark and be like, well, I think my speedometer was hovering between 30, 40, whatever the speed is.
Yeah.
Right?
Even
again,
that,
but
like,
again,
really just
that's why you go, I think. You never say for sure I was going 40, because then they go, well, actually I had you at 49, which is above 45, so now you're getting a ticket because you're lying to an officer. All this BS. So
all this extra BS. But like even in that case, it's always better to just shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Just
always.
nothing. Just
say nothing.
Nothing is better than something in some cases.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Just don't talk to the police. Don't look at them.
Never talk to the police.
Just get some bacon, slather it on their cars.
Yeah. So for one of the tickets I got, and this is the ridiculous one where like there was clearly no pedestrian where I was like turning, but they still ticketed me for failing to yield to a pedestrian. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, and like it was ridiculous, right? Like I don't know if I told this story on the podcast before, but I was essentially taking my mom and like an old lady I helped take care of, and none of us saw a pedestrian. There was no pedestrian there. The only pedestrian that we did see had already finished crossing long before I made the turn. And the cop waited like 2 or 3 blocks to pull me over. And he didn't technically pull me over. I was already pulled over so that the old lady could start getting out. And that cop essentially turned on his lights while I was, parking, and came over to me. And then 4 other cop cars surrounded me. And like all of them got out. They were all posted like at different angles surrounding my car. Yeah, they were like taking it so serious. And this fucker looked like a skinhead. Like I'm not even joking. He had his head completely shaven.
There are gangs within LAPD.
Most of the police is actually a gang. Not even joking.
Yep.
A big part of the drug trafficking that happens here is under the protection of the police.
Yep.
Here in LA. That's a
fact.
That's
okay?
a fact. Yeah.
That's 100% a fact. If you guys find irrefutable evidence against that, you win a Chips Ahoy family pack.
Yes.
Directly to you.
Yes. From someone. I don't know who.
You know when they say you want a cookie, you get a whole pack of cookies.
Yeah.
Okay?
You get a whole pack. But no. Like, and that was like a recent thing, right? That like was revealed like earlier this year.
It's not even.
I mean,
recent.
it's like the thing we've already known.
Exactly.
We already know that
and then Bombshell comes out. Fucking nothing happens because the 24-hour news cycle goes by so fast.
So
they're
quick.
Like, next.
Or they choose to not run the story. Because, like, see, okay, like, this is the thing. Big news outlets, they don't overtly lie. Like, a lot of YouTubers overtly lie. Like, they essentially, like, just say whatever the fuck they want because they have no accountability. News organizations like CNN and stuff, they don't overtly lie. They lie by omission.
Or allegedly, or...
Or they lie by omission. They just won't run the story. Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing too. Like there was a Syrian refugee in France who stabbed a bunch of little kids. Had you heard about that on any?
No.
It's crazy. I'm sounding like a right-wing person myself right now, where I'm like, why is this being censored? But I couldn't find any news. Where was it?
To be fair, though, I don't look at the news like that. I look for stories about like certain things. Like I don't just browse the newspaper or watch the
8
TV.
children stabbed in a park. France knife attack. Syrian refugee stabs 4 children in NSE. I know how that sounds too. It's like, a Syrian refugee, but it's like, I mean, that's what he was, you know?
Yeah.
Like I know. I'm not saying like, a dirty immigrant. No, he was a refugee. And the point,
and he just happened to be one. Like,
exactly.
Here's the thing, because like we know better.
The Daily Mail.
We're intelligent individuals here. We can tell. There's bad people in every single group in society. Like, there's no group you're gonna find that's completely innocent. The key factor is like, is there a disproportionate amount of these harmful people within this group? And 9 times out of 10, they're not. This does just give fuel to right-wing people to like be like, oh look, anti-immigration.
This is why you don't want them in.
Yeah, but you also have to take into consideration there's gonna be bad people in every group. Every group has a small subset of bad individuals. Can't judge the whole group based on the actions of one individual, except for Republicans, because they consistently come out like, okay, like before, like, do you know this theory? We've talked about this before, how before it was just like a meme, but then like in the last like 5 years it's become like serious. The pedocon theory. Essentially, if you're conservative, you're more likely to be a pedophile than if you're not.
Yep.
Like,
and now we're seeing all the right-wing YouTubers and everyone.
Yeah, like all the right-wingers essentially keep getting caught with like child porn and like and raping children. Like, it's bad.
That Nazi, how he was like, I'm gonna secure myself a 16-year-old child bride. I don't give a fuck. And it was like, fucking Nick Fuentes, the Nazi.
Yeah, the fucking Nazi dude. Fucking bringing shame to fucking Latins everywhere. And he's fucking dude. Fucking piece of shit.
It's funny. Let me finish real quick.
Right? Yeah. Because I got something to say. Yeah.
It was a Syrian national, right? Behind knife attacks, right?
That makes
sense. Which is fucking nuts. It's like, dude, you're a Syrian national. You're coming to France, and they're accepting you as a refugee, so you can hopefully integrate into part of the culture. Obviously, they're not erasing your culture, right? We're not saying come here, you only speak French. No, they're saying come here. We're here to help you. But you have to do some work as well, right?
Yeah.
You can't just come in and be like, well,
sit
I'm
on your
just
ass.
I'm just gonna do nothing and or the opposite of nothing, something very heinous, right? Like attacking children. But the thing is, I didn't see that, like, all the, when I search this on YouTube, it's on India Today, the Daily Mail, GB News. Like, the Daily Mail is a big one, right? Telegraph also, but like they're nowhere near like 1 million views or plus, like where it would be on CNN and NBC and stuff like that, right? But again, because I understand the fact that it's like it doesn't fit their narrative, so it's just by omission. We just don't bring it up, right?
Yeah.
But it's nuts. It's like, no, if there's an actual systematic problem, then why don't we talk about it, shed some light on it,
Yeah.
so that everyone is aware of it and can then move forward with fixing it. But I know because you show this, and then, like you said, the conservatives are going to go, oh, this is why we have to close our borders, and this is why we don't bring
people
blah,
take
blah.
it out of proportion where it's not. It's like it's not the fact that like Syrian refugees are even framing it as like a Syrian refugee. I think it's kind of an issue.
Disingenuous.
They should be a little bit disingenuous, depending on the outlet. To be honest,
Yeah.
because obviously, like certain things when you say, it's like if you it's like the context of who is saying what does change the how. What's the word? How palatable? No, how
Yeah, I think palatable. Right?
palatable? No, not palatable, because it's not a matter of like taste. It's a matter of like how genuine you think they're being. Like how like are they actually caring about this one incident, about
Like,
fixing
is
this
it in
one
good
problem,
faith,
or
or
yeah,
is it- okay.
exactly, or like are they trying to essentially allude to like
And dog whistle.
yeah, and dog whistle to something else? And who's saying that? Like if I can't think of a good example off the top of my head, but you get what I mean.
No, actually,
Yeah.
there's two. It's a joke, right? Where they go, there's two ways you can say Jew. You can go, oh yeah, or sorry. You when you say Jewish, it's fine, but when you say Jew, it sounds hateful. Where it's like I have a couple of Jewish friends. I have a couple of Jew friends.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I go to this Jewish coffee shop. I go to this Jew coffee shop. Like there's a huge shift in context.
Yeah.
But also, like if
a Jewish person were to say that same
it would
phrase,
sound
it would
so
sound
funny.
different.
It would sound funny because he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back with all the Jews, and we crack up, right? But if a white guy that's not a Christian guy goes, oh, I'm gonna go back with all the Jews, everyone's like, whoa, you know? It's like-
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I have a bunch of Jewish friends. Okay, haha.
Oh yeah,
Or,
yeah.
I have
it's
Jewish
the same thing.
family.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, like if a gay person were to be like, oh yeah, I got a bunch of like F friends, you know,
Yeah.
like it's different if like a Republican then goes and says, I have a bunch of it.
Context always matters.
Or
and
like,
that's why words hold power with different.
Yeah,
subsets
or
of
like one that I've
cultures.
actually been using, like so it is Pride Month. Every 3 seconds, whenever I'm inconvenienced by my girlfriend, I'm like, you know, being tridephobic in Pride Month isn't very fun, you know. Whenever like it's something mildly inconvenient happens to me, like I'm just like, this is transphobic. I don't know.
Man, my parking meter ran out of time pretty early. That's pretty transphobic.
Yeah.
You know? You just tape a little rainbow flag over the time so they can't tell.
just you know, I'm not looking at that.
Honestly, it's like, but you know, the prices went up at Carl's Jr. the other day. That's pretty transphobic.
Yeah,
man.
like God damn.
It's National Barbecue Month. Don't they know? Come on.
Not you being transphobic in Pride Month.
Exactly.
I'm just looking at Carl's Jr. like,
did I really just catch you in 4K being transphobic during Pride Month? Carl's Jr., what are you doing?
yeah. Versus like when a Republican says something that's like, oh yeah, I got this tranny friend.
The intent versus the context.
Yeah.
of
So
who's-
it's like the
who's
same
using-
thing, right? So like
Intent.
It depends. Like it's Syrian refugee. That title depends for me, depending on who's saying it. But like generally speaking, you know, it is who they are.
Yeah, like
sadly
that's
painting a bad light
unfortunately-
onto other Syrian refugees who are legitimately just trying to fucking
But
escape a horrible situation.
Honestly, yeah, and it's like the West's fault that that's happening in Syria also. Like, this is the Syrian refugees' fault. Go back and same thing
It's
with the-
literally Europe. It's literally Europe's fault.
and Latin American countries where it's like all the you're like, oh, the migrant crisis is happening. It's like, well, maybe
Who caused it?
Yeah, well, maybe if the CIA and FBI had kept their fucking hands to themselves when they were playing in the sandbox, you know,
Yeah.
you go down Latin America, you have some fun, you cocaine hookers, you come back, you're done. That's it.
That's it.
Okay?
That's all you gotta
You
do.
don't go and then overthrow the government.
Yeah.
JFK.
Oh, they won't sell us oil anymore. Like,
JFK tried to stop that, and what'd they do to him?
got shot twice.
Fucking no scope.
Got shot twice. Yeah,
Straight up.
Low key, I forgot who I was talking to, but
JFK?
yeah, I was talking about JFK to someone. I forgot who, and I was basically like, you know that like JFK would stand like because like a big thing in like right wing people, they really adore JFK.
But
they
he's
adore
a fucking liberal.
He's
a
no,
dirty liberal.
He's more than that. He's a fucking leftist through and through. You know, it was likely that he was actually probably either bi or gay.
Why?
He had a
bet.
he had a best friend who would stay in the White House, and he would buy like fancy cars, and he'd go on like Sunday walks with their dog. You know,
Of course. It's like, yes, there was Eric and Tom that lived together in 1822. They were roommates, and they never married.
for
It's
50
like,
years. Yeah,
Yeah, roommates.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Never married. But
yeah, it was likely that he was like bi or whatever But yeah, like, and basically he would like, essentially like nowadays, if you would based on his like personality and his politics, he would basically stand for everything they fucking hate right now.
Of course, fighting for the little people, anti-war. He'd be like, focusing on just having everyone be better. That's basically it. It's nuts. So, now that we've touched onto the topic of JFK, we've got to watch this classic, The Professor Brothers History Lesson.
One man once died, but did you know that he could
Why?
read all our minds? He was the U.S. Adam with Jack the wife. He was a hyper-charismatic telepathical knight.
I gotta finish watching this show, to be honest.
China, Illinois.
Yeah.
Even though I'm better than you, I am not.
His parents were an academic team of elites. Their goal was to raise the future human supreme. He smelled like the future. His words felt like flowers. And if you shook your hand, you'd make love with it for hours. A list? Let's. Soldier? Check. Flight? True. Commie? No. Rich? Quite. And was he the true cousin of Sir Jesus Christ? You fucking know he was, man. Oh, man.
I bet this would be funnier if I knew who these two are actually.
Let us down, but shit, how could we mind? He was a handsome devil, but the kind of devil you like. Wore suits sometimes. Started movies that appeared in our minds. He knew the secrets of all space and time. And if he liked you, he would tell you, but you had to unwind.
You don't know it, but you are full of stars.
He understands my shit, said the short and the tall. He saw a million faces and he sexed them all. I saw him heal a zebra. I saw him love his wife. I saw him bless a demon and that demon changed its life. Some secrets never aired about the sex lord elect. Let us go back to the start. When JFK was just specs, no one knew, no one guessed, due to all of his flaws, that the world's most demon mofo wasn't human at all. Fake man, great stats, never sat to empty out all his crap. How could a program love and fuck so sweet? He was a hypersympathetic telepathic machine.
Man is still the most extraordinary computer of all. And women are even cooler.
Brad Neely of Neely Comics, the Professor Brothers History Lesson. The Professor Brothers are like these little sketches that he would post fucking 15 years ago, and they turned into China, Illinois, because they're brothers, professors. So,
Dude, no, I constantly get like, I don't know, goosebumps whenever I think of like timescales. Still,
timescales?
Yeah, I've been playing Magic for longer than I've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
But look, China, Illinois. So like that. This is part one, right?
15
the
years.
Professor brother, 14 years ago, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
right?
14 years.
And
fuck, dude, that's dedication to the thing. And you know, it kind of fucking shows. The Ronald Reagan episode he showed us was pretty fucking funny.
Oh, it was
hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see his, China. I'm just trying to find a fucking season 1 theme song. No, where's? Give me a fucking trailer, man.
That's fine. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch China, Illinois, and then they released a new season of what's that shit fucking called? Clone High.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. And I think you should leave.
I think you should leave. Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of been wanting to watch Clone High because I never watched it. I saw like advertisements for it, I think, when I was, or was it advertisements? I might have just seen an episode or something somewhere. But I saw something about it when I was like younger, when the original one was still talked about. The one, I don't know when it released. Like, I don't know, we were young. I'm talking like Happy Tree Friends was new young. Yeah, and that came out, and then it got rebooted recently, or not rebooted. It got revitalized, whatever it's called when they continue from the old one.
Yeah, just I guess reboot still.
Reboot.
Yeah.
And I hear it's pretty good, so I kind of want to watch that too. I have a lot to watch, but then whenever I sit down on the computer to I'm unwinding, put up a game, start playing, and I want to watch something on the side, I never remember what the fuck I want to watch. I'm like, what am I supposed to watch? I can't fucking remember what to watch.
All right, there you go. I found
What's up, everyone?
America's favorite education abomination is back. The ideas bigger.
All those in favor of flooding the South, raise your hand.
The education higher.
My skin is a blanket that I wish I could take off sometimes.
And did we mention the unbridled consensual sex?
Boy, you should have said this about slamming ham.
Extra credit.
Hit the camera, guys.
China, Illinois, Sunday at 11:30 on Adult Swim.
Oh man, yeah, that's good. That's good. It's a sweet potato.
We do gotta be watching all of China, Illinois though.
China, Illinois.
It's on Hulu. Do you have Hulu? I was like, I don't remember.
Is it on Hulu? I don't know. I don't know if I'm signed into Hulu here.
Because on Adult Swim. Oh, HBO Max. That's what it's on.
It's not called HBO Max anymore. It's called Max.
It's Max.
Max. Dude, I swear the fucking the new CEO, the dude that fucking merged it with Discover Plus.
Yeah.
The fucking retarded dude. Why would you throw away the HBO brand? Like Max is not the brand name Why do you think HBO Go failed? It's like part of the reason was because you relabeled it Go. Oh my god! I swear, corporate monkeys are fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's all about. At the end of the day, they don't care about the consumers. They just care about money. So then they go Max, and then someone goes, "Wait, Max? I've never heard of that one before. Do we have that one?" And then that's where you get fucking subscribers.
But they lose money in the long run. Yeah. Because the HBO Max,
short-term gains, short-term gains.
Yeah,
you short-term gains. You short the stock. You liquidate your assets. Then you rinse and repeat and fill the shareholders' pockets. Dude. And then by the time you declare bankruptcy, the shareholders don't have any debt. Fuck it, they've already sold.
I'm still so fucking upset that Infinity Train got canceled. I'm still so fucking upset. You know the creators of that. I don't know if all of them or if just the main one essentially have written into their, because they all dispersed, they went to separate studios,
scatter like cockroaches.
Yeah, exactly. They have stipulations in their contracts basically saying if Infinity Train gets revitalized, we will go work on that, and they have that written into every one of their contracts that
because they actually cared about
because they care about the fucking IP and they actually want that. It's like one of the first new good IPs that a studio has released in the last couple of years. There's that Owl House and a couple of other ones, but original IP, it's it's fucking depressing.
Yeah.
And they just took it out. You can't stream it. They never got put into DVDs, I think, at least the newer season, so you can't really buy the full thing. There's nothing. That's why pirating is good, kids.
Exactly.
That's why you gotta pirate.
Fuck Nintendo. Fuck the HBO Discovery
Legit
merger executives. And
I fucking cracked my my 3DS the other day, and so now I basically just have every single game that got released for the 3DS.
Yeah. You know why? Because fuck them. Because why am I going to pay $90 for a Pokemon Diamond that I can't get anymore officially?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I could just fucking
pirate it.
A
friend of mine could pirate it.
$20 on an SD card, and my friend could pirate it.
Correct. So I spoke till Friday.
We're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. Now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday. Goodbye, my friends. We'll see you next week. And now I'ma go and beat my meat. And we're broke till Friday.